Poughkeepsie, New York, and he was 6 years old. Took him on his first road trip. So we used to do TV like 2 or 3 days a row in Poughkeepsie, New York at this smaller venue, maybe held like, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 people. Upstairs was the ring and where you wrestled. Downstairs was a big, huge dressing room with about 80 people in it, some couches, and several TVs that the guys could watch the show on while it was going on. So my match was coming up, and I told Windham, and he had known the Steiners already because we had lived in Atlanta prior to that. So he knew Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner, and I said, you sit right here. I put him in front of a monitor, a TV, not even a real monitor, just a basic TV, and I said, don't move. When I come back, I'll come and get you. So I go up, I do my match, which is probably a 7-8 minute television match. I'm on my way down, and guys are going, oh, you should see what your kid did. And I'm like, what? So I'm going down the steps, and somebody else, oh, your kid's in trouble. And I'm going, oh my God, what did he do? So I go downstairs, and I find out what he did. So Windham was sitting in between Rick Steiner and Scott Steiner. So they start going, Windham, did you poop your pants? And then Rick would do it, Scott would do it. In the middle of all this, Pat Patterson came down, and Pat was, he was a writer and ex-wrestler and an agent and helped with the production and everything. In the middle of all this, and Windham's getting really worked up because now they're going back and forth, and they start calling poopy pants. So Pat Patterson gets in Windham's face, bends over, he's standing up, and Windham's sitting down, and he starts calling them poopy pants, poopy pants, poopy pants. Wyndham reaches in Pat's pocket, pulls out a pencil, and stabs Pat in the forehead with the pencil.
Oh my God!
And I'm going, oh my God. I said, Wyndham, come here. I said, that's my boss. You want to get me fired? I said, come on, you're going to apologize. So I pulled Wyndham over there, and Wyndham's looking at him, and he goes, I go ahead. He goes, I'm sorry. And Pat Patterson goes, no, it's okay. I was calling you poopy pants.
Hey, do you remember when you brought both your boys to, I think it was like Augusta, Georgia, and you come up and you said, hey, will you meet my kids?
Yeah, it was when they got bigger?
No, they were still both little shits.
I brought them to, that was one of the WrestleManias, and I think it was in Indianapolis, when they had the cowboy boots?
Yes, when they had the cowboy boots.
Yeah. You can tell that story.
So Mike comes up to me and he goes, hey Taker, he goes, I got my boys with me. I said, do you mind at intermission or whatever, I'm gonna bring them back. Do you mind saying hello to them? Of course, yeah, absolutely. So intermission comes, and we're meeting back in the hallway, and here comes Mike with his boys, and they got their Wranglers and their shirts, cowboy shirts, and their cowboy boots on. And I'm still not sure. They both blamed it on each other through the years, but I think it's finally come out that it may have been Bo that did it. I'm not sure. Yeah, it was Taylor. So anyway, I'm leaned down, say hello. What's your name, young man? Taylor rears back and kicks me as hard as he can, right in the shin.
Well, I have to correct you there, because I was there too, and I remember you had your hair draped over your face, and you bent down, and Taylor was probably like that big. He was probably 3 years old. And you go, and that's when Taylor wound up, kicked Taker right in the shin, and Taker's going, you little shit.
I don't know if I called him that, but...
well, you did later.
Well, yeah, later on, I was like, dang. But yeah, that was
good. I remember that.
Yeah, that was fun. There's a pattern. There's a pattern forming
I
here.
had to be very careful when I took him on the road. That was the pattern.
Barry, when I was in FCW, I remember Windham always talking about my Uncle Barry, my Uncle Barry, my Uncle Barry. He had so much respect and reverence for you. Can you talk about what your relationship with your nephew was like?
Well, I was around Windham when he was young, when he was born. I've got a picture of him the day he was born with me holding him. But Mike and I took him fishing with us. We like to go fishing. And I mean, he was just, I can't think of one time when Windham did something wrong. I mean, from a kid to all the way growing up, he was a perfect child. He was something else.
It's amazing because you probably weren't the best influence on him.
He never saw me anywhere.
Oh, he didn't see the Barry I saw early on.
No.
Oh, okay. All right.
That was a different guy.
I picked up some bad habits from you.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor was born in Marietta, Georgia, and my wife had a scheduled C-section. So the day he was born, we went in, made sure Steph was okay and Taylor was okay, and I was gonna pick up a boat. We were living in Atlanta, so me and Barry left Atlanta and took Windham, and we drove to, Lake City. So I picked the boat up, and Barry had a place out in the country, like in, what's the name? Mayo, Florida. And it's real rural out there with water. And so we had Windham for he did the trip with us. We hadn't had Micah yet. So we go down, picked the boat up in Lake City, drove back up to Mayo, and we stayed there a night or two. And we took Windham down by the water, and he was just covered in mud, just playing in the water. And I mean, he looked like something out of a movie where you come out and he was like, all you could see is his blue eyes and covered in mud, his hair and everything. And so we ended up taking him over to the place because it was kind of a cabin type place, and we had to hose him off, and he was screaming. And just, he had a lot of experiences like that.
So clearly, family meant a lot to Windham, but being an artist also meant a ton to Windham. And one of the incredible things is that as much as Windham gave us, he also left us with something very special. So we have a video package from the documentary about Windham.